Hello everyone and welcome to the Daily Prelims Practice, an initiative of RAU'S IAS where we take up the prelims related MCQs from the Hindu newspaper and the Indian Express. The topics for today's discussion are listed on your screen, so let us begin with the first question for the day. The first question for today's discussion is based on the recently concluded Conference of Party 27, where India, along with other basic countries, has opposed the introduction of carbon border tax. Now, from the perspective of prelim examination, it is important for us to understand the basic concept of carbon border tax. On the same line, we have framed this question, which says that consider the following statement with reference to the carbon border tax. Now, based on the international environmental issues, UPSC has already asked a question on the term of common carbon metric, which was asked in 2021. And this concept is actually supported by United Nations Environment Program also. The first statement for the question is, it is an import duty on goods from countries with less strict climate policies. Now, according to the carbon border tax, which is in the news, it is a duty on the imports based on the amount of carbon emission in the production of imported goods from countries with less strict climate policies. Now take an example. Let's say there's a particular good which is produced in India. Now Indian environmental laws are not that strict as being followed in the European Union. And that is one of the reasons why the products which India is exporting are considered to be more carbon intensive and more polluting. So the European Union is trying to bring a tax which should be imposed on the goods which are crossing into the borders of these countries. The second statement is that the concept of the tax has been proposed by the United States. Now the first statement is correct, the second one is wrong. It is not United States, it is European Union. With this, the answer to the question would be option A. The answer to the question which UPSC has asked was option A, that is assessing the carbon footprints of building operations around the world. This article of the Hindu newspaper appeared on page 10 and talks about the Pangong Tso lake, where India has deployed new docks for more surveillance. Now, from the perspective of UPSC, it is important for us to understand basic geographical location and their importance. So based on the same perspective, we have framed this question, and in 2018, UPSC has already asked a question on the artificial lake. So for today's question, consider the following statements regarding the Pangong Tso lake. The first option says that it is an endorheic lake and is majorly under Chinese control. See, the word is majorly and not absolutely. The second statement says that it has mountain spurs of Chang Chinmo range, referred to as fingers. And the third statement says that it is a freshwater lake and is a major tourist attraction due to its crystal clear water. Now, the key words in these three statements are majorly, the name of the mountain range, and whether it is a freshwater lake or not. So according to the geographical location of this lake is not a freshwater lake. It is a brackish water lake and it comes on the southern part of the spurs of Chang Chinmo range. So if you look at the map, as you can see, these are the important ranges which are on the northern part of this Pangong lake. And the majority part of this lake lies on the eastern front, which is under the Chinese control. So the majority of the section is under Chinese control and minority is under the Indian control. So based on that, first two statement would be correct and your answer would be option B. The answer to the question asked by UPSC would be option A, that is Kodaikanal in Tamil Nadu. This article of the Hindu newspaper appeared on page 14, that is the business page, where it tells us that new full-time member has been appointed to the Niti Aayog. His name is Arvind Virmani and he was the ex-chief economic advisor of India between 2007 to 2009. As UPSC has asked questions from different councils, different institutions at center and the state level, in 2015, they have already asked a very basic question on Niti Aayog, that which organization would be replaced by Niti Aayog. The answer to this question was straightforward, that is option D. Based on the composition of the Niti Aayog, we have framed this question today. With reference to the composition of Niti Aayog, consider the following statement. The first one is Vice Chairperson, who comes next to the Prime Minister of Niti Aayog, is appointed under the hand and seal of Indian President. No. No appointment in Niti Aayog is made by President. All full-time members of Niti Aayog are appointed by the Vice Chairperson. This statement is also incorrect because majority of the members are appointed by the Prime Minister's office and Vice Chairperson does not appoint any member. And the third one is all full-time members of Niti Aayog enjoy the rank of Minister of State. This statement is correct. So Arvind Virmani is going to enjoy the rank of Minister of State to the central government. So based on the discussion, the answer to this question would be option C. Now we come to the MCQs from the Indian Express. The first one is based on the GST Council and it appeared on page 13 of the Indian Express. The article actually talks about the demand which came from the West Bengal, where they have demanded to conduct an urgent meeting of GST Council to discuss important matters. Now from the perspective of UPSC examination, UPSC in 2013 has already asked question based on the important national level council, in which they have asked that which of the following does not find mention in the Indian Constitution. On the basis of the same, we have framed a question on Goods and Service Tax Council. Now this council was created along with the constitutional amendment, and with that this council became a constitutional body. So the first statement is, it is a constitutional body created through 101st Constitutional Amendment Act, and this option would be correct. Minimum quorum. Quorum is the number of people required to conduct a particular meeting. So minimum quorum of the council is 1/3 of the total membership. This would be incorrect. It is 50%, that is 1/2. The third statement is, all recommendation of the council is decided by the majority of members who are present and voting. This is incorrect. All recommendation of the council is decided by the 3/4 of the majority. So based on the discussion, the statements which should be recommended in this answer are incorrect. So you have to identify the incorrect one, and out of the three, option 2 and 3 are incorrect. So your answer would be option B. The answer to the UPSC's question was option D. All the three organizations are not mentioned anywhere in the constitution, and out of this, Planning Commission has already been discommissioned. This article of the Indian Express appeared on page 9 and talks about the recent demand which came from the state of Punjab, where the Chief Minister of Punjab has asked to bring Bharat Ratna for Bhagat Singh and Kartar Sarabha. Now Bhagat Singh has already been discussed in DNS multiple times, so today we have framed a question on Kartar Sarabha. Now UPSC in 2022, that is this year itself, has asked a question from the various freedom fighters including the revolutionaries, that who of the above were actively associated with the Gadar party. Answer to this question was option D, that is only Ras Bihari Bose. On the same, we have framed this question that with reference to the Kartar Singh Sarabha, consider the following statement. And here you have to identify the incorrect statements given above. The first statement is that he was actively associated with the Gadar newspaper. Now Kartar Singh was born in 1896 in Punjab. And in 1912, he moved to San Francisco and got associated with the functioning of Gadar newspaper and Gadar party, and he became a prominent revolutionary at a very, very young age. So, with that respect, the first statement would be correct. Now, even we go by the elimination method, and you know that first statement is correct, your answer would be option B. But to be on the safe side, let's read these other two statements as well. He was arrested and prosecuted in relation to the Lahore conspiracy case of 1930. This would be incorrect. He was arrested in Lahore conspiracy case but not of 1930. The Lahore conspiracy case of 1914-15 was the correct statement. The third option is that West Bengal was his main area of revolutionary activity. This would be incorrect because he was no longer associated for revolutionary activities in India. He was mostly active in Gadar party in US. So based on the same, the correct answer would be option B. This article of the Indian Express appeared on page 13, that is the business page, and talks about the important housing prices and the basic indices. Now, UPSC has already asked indices based questions multiple times. So here, as you can see, they have asked a question from Rule of Law Index and which of the organization publishes this. The publishing organization of Rule of Law Index is World Justice Report. Based on the same, we have framed the question for today. Residex is compiled by Ministry of Finance in 26 cities. And the second statement is House Price Index is compiled by the Reserve Bank of India on quarterly basis. The first statement is incorrect. It is published for 26 cities but not by Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Finance has allocated the compilation duty to National Housing Bank for the preparation of Residex. So first statement is incorrect. The second one is correct. Hence your answer would be option B. Now we come to the last article for today, and it was published on page 14. That is the explained page of Indian Express, and talks about the basic difference between Vostro and Nostro account. Yesterday in the DNS itself, we have taken the detailed explanation of Vostro and Nostro account and how they have impacted India's trade with Russia. If you want to read more on that, you can go to the DNS dated 16th of November. Today, in order to simplify the basic difference, we have created this table. So, Nostro account is the one where an account is located in a foreign bank, let's say a Bank of England. And here, the account will be opened by domestic bank, let's say State Bank of India, and the money will be deposited in the foreign currency, let's say British pound. The Vostro account is the one which is located in India, let's say in SBI, opened by a foreign bank, let's say Bank of England, and it will be in the domestic currency, that is Indian rupee. This single table will help you to frame the basic difference in both the account. So let's now solve the MCQ. Previously, on the basis of the capital account in 2013, UPSC has asked a question where they have asked that which of the following constitute the capital account. Now, out of the four, private remittances can easily be eliminated because remittances is a one-side unilateral payments made without any quid pro quo. That is, there is nothing which is taken as a return on the private remittances. On the other hand, foreign loans gets return of interest payment, FDI gets profit, and portfolio investment also gets dividend. So out of this, the correct answer was option D. On the basis of same, we have created a question today that with reference to the international financial trading accounts, consider the following. The first one is, Vostro account is used to make international payments in domestic currency. Now coming back to the table, Vostro account is used to make international payments in domestic currency. So from here, we can easily say yes, the statement number 1 is correct. Nostro account is an account opened by a domestic bank in foreign market in foreign currency. Now from this table, we can easily deduce that yes, all the three are correct. Hence your option second is also correct. So the correct answer would be option C. That's all for today's daily prelims practice. Thank you and stay tuned for more updates.